Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Star Wars The Old Republic Imperial Agent Edition. Now, when we left off, we had just gained a mission to head on to Voss, which is not my favorite planet, but it is one of the planets that I really do like to get behind me, so let us head on to Baston's tea house. Now, we do have Vector with us, of course, because he is part of the diplomatic service. And I think it would be a good idea to, well, maybe have some of his expertise at hand. So, let's head in.
Come in, outsider. You seek the alien enclave. The way isn't always clear.
Anaton, tea for the guest.
Which tea?
All of them, until he finds one that suits him. I am Baston. This is my tea house. Forgive my daughter. We should start anew as the spring.
A woman like that has nothing to apologize for.
Only the mystics have nothing to apologize for. I know what you suggest.
When tea is ready, host the others. This man is a friend of a good friend. I will share his time.
We'd like to see the city, if you don't mind. Maybe look up some friends in the diplomatic service.
Don't worry. The family won't bother us, and no one else suspects. Living with these creatures for 5 years earns some credibility.
That's either quite a disguise or you're Voss yourself.
Our employers surgically altered me to look like the real Baston. The only way to infiltrate a closed society. I got to know my family, raise children, kiss my wife. I don't care how exotic they look, their breath always smells like Minok dung. It's some spice in the blasted food.
I'm operating on limited information. Why am I here?
My orders were to find you a lead on Albathius, a human who showed up a few years ago. Voss called him the Shining Man. Where he came from is a mystery. But it only took him 5 weeks to go from outsider to practically Voss. Went through a dozen rites to earn their respect. Knew their culture inside and out. Knew their politics. Textbook infiltration. Impossibly perfect.
You're talking past tense. What happened to him?
Just when it seems the Voss can't love him anymore, he dies in his sleep. Buried with honors. Mourned like one of them. No one's touched the case much since. So if you want to learn what the Shining Man was up to, you've got a nasty job. Start with the tomb.
What does died peacefully mean?
It means he went to his home in Voss Car one night and didn't wake up. Heart condition, they said. Tomb's at the base of the mountain, holiest place a non-Voss can be interred. Predators keep the area clear these days. If you want to go in as a pilgrim, I've left clothes and instructions at a dead drop. Give me a call once you're in.
Third Ton returns at sunset.
Our family must prepare a welcome. We will speak again.
Okay, well, it appears as though Baston's, well, quote-unquote daughter has taken a shining to us, but, well, otherwise, the only other shining that we are interested in is the movie with Jack Nicholson. No, we're not going to be interested in that. Not right now, at least, but we are interested in the Shining Man. So, we are going to be heading on to the dead drop, which is going to require us to take a speeder. And I'm going to be extremely lazy and quick travel to the Imperial District to get a little bit closer. Okay, so we are now going to be locating the dead drop, as we can see here. It is right behind this tree. Very, oh yes, very conspicuous, I feel.
You're holding a Voss outfit, part of the pilgrim's ritual to the Shining Man's tomb. Best way to avoid drawing unwanted attention. Tradition says the pilgrim's supposed to collect ceremonial offerings from the Seeker's Path. That'll be your first stop. Then the tomb itself. Just watch out for the subhumans. The Voss call them Gormak, but all you need to know is that they're vermin with blasters.
Okay, well, I'm not entirely sure about that. Zaynash was one to actually converse with the Gormak way back. So, okay, well, we're going to be picking up a couple of things here. So first off, we want to pick up that. What is that? No, that's not it. What are we wanting to pick up right here? Ah, there seems to be something in that small sack or something along those lines, so I suppose we will just be eliminating these guys as fast as we can. Oh, yes. Look at that damage. Very, very nice. And now maybe we can get these guys taken out as well. There we go. Not too bad at all. And yes, what is this? Ah, a stone of the mountain. There we go. Fantastic. And now we can head onward to pick up the tune fruit, as well as water of Voss. Now, these are going to be reasonably close by to us, which is very nice to see. And I must just remind myself as well that I really do need to go back to the fleet and remod our sniper rifle right now. As you can see, it's still a level 38 one. Not entirely sure why I didn't do that before this episode, because we were on our ship, but, well, whatever the case, I was quite excited to get on Voss, because even though it is not my favorite planet, it is a rather beautiful one. As you can see, it's almost always autumn here by the looks of things, so the leaves are not quite off the trees just yet, but it is a wonderful hue of orange and yellow and everything all the time. So, yeah, it is a beautiful place. It's just, well, some of the time they do like to draw out your presence here, and while it is a spectacle to look at, I do prefer to move on to a variety of different planets in a short space of time rather than stick around in one place for too long. But nevertheless, let us now take out the next couple of units here. These guys are, wow, actually relatively easy to take out. And we're going to be picking up some fruit. There we go, thank you. And now the one last thing that we need is some water of Voss, and then we'll be able to head on to the tomb. Hopefully we'll be pretty close by to the tomb, otherwise it will require a little bit more travel time, which I suppose is not all bad. Travel time is never a bad thing. It's just, if I have to take 15 minutes to get somewhere, then it's a little bit bad, but otherwise we are reasonably close by, I would say. Well, we'll see, won't we? So let's see here. Okay, well, we're definitely just going to want to take out the Stalker first. Look at that, amazing damage. Very, very nice. And now we can deal with this one as well.
Are you well?
And then we can pick up some water. Excellent. And now all we need to do is enter the Shining Man's mausoleum, which actually appears to be just around the corner. That is fantastic. Wow. Well, they definitely designed this mission very, very nicely indeed, because usually it means that you have to run to the opposite ends of the map to be able to find anywhere that you need to go. So, thankfully enough, it is a little bit different this time around. And let's do some damage now, shall we? Now, do bear in mind, we actually do have Orbital Strike now, because we gained it at level 48, I believe. And, well, I'd like to be able to use it, so let's see if we can find a big group of enemies. Ah, this seems to be reasonably well fortified for us to use against. So let's do that, there we go. And now I'm going to move in here, just because I want them to stay within the main section, as it were, of the Orbital Strike, so that we can get more damage on them, so they don't move out of it, of course. Was that it? That was actually it? Ah, well, I was hoping for a little bit more damage, considering this particular fellow is, well, quite difficult to kill, and unfortunately it didn't seem to do that much. Oh, well, that's quite strange, I would say. It is on a 45-second cooldown, technically, so it would have been wonderful to see it do a little bit more, but, well, I suppose it is an AoE, so we can't really expect too much from it, I suppose. There we go, take that out. And now we just need to investigate the sarcophagus, which is just up here.
We toured the tombs of Pengalan, but they were nothing like this. And all built for a lie. A conspirator.
Bastan, I'm in position. Nothing in the sarcophagus but dust and a scroll.
Dust? No way the body decayed that fast on its own. Send me a high-res image and bring the scroll back. Dust sample too. We'll see what analysis turns up.
I'll head back to the tea house.
I'll save a seat for you.
Okay, well, was that all that was required? It appears so. Well, the first thing I really do want to do is actually complete the bonus mission, because even though it is, well, probably not going to give us the greatest amount of experience, I really feel as though it will be worth it, because, well, considering we only have another four enemies to kill, and, well, why not, you know? I mean, we're right here, and we may as well make good use of the fact that we can kill these quite easily as well. It's not like we're taking 10 minutes just to kill one of them, so I'd say that that's pretty good. Now, I'd like to use takedown, thank you. Yes, there we go. Now, where's the other one? There it is. And I'm going to be using our penetrating blasts just to finish that off, thank you. And now we only have to find 2 more. I'm a little bit worried that there's only going to be 1 left in... Yes. There is 1 left in the cave, so that's fantastic, isn't it? I'm going to have to head outside and actually complete it that way. Well, I suppose at least the cave is not large. If it was a lot larger than this, we'd be taking a lot of time to actually get out of it, then that would be pretty bad. But I think there are some wildlife enemies out here that can quite easily be eliminated. There we go. That's exactly what we want to see. And let's deal as much damage as we can to them, of course. There we go. And now we just need to do a nice ambush and finish it off. There we go. So that is fantastic. And now I'll be seeing you at the tea house. Okay, so we've reached the tea house, and we will now report back to Baston, who is obviously trying to figure out the mystery behind the Shining Man's body disappearing.
You return. Father, your friend.
Come share our meal. My brother Therod Tun is with us. We celebrate.
You could tell me of your time on Voss.
So far, nothing has been more enchanting than the woman I met at the tea house.
There is more of Voss.
Come, meet Therod Tun and my son.
Vamoye allows me to work in the alien enclave. Outsider faces, outsider materials.
You will never be an artist. But it is right. Your people bring vast opportunities. Be proud of your role.
Bastan never said anything about your art?
I sculpt outsiders as meditation. You might sit for me.
Father's friends introduced outsider goods. Is that how you met?
He's being modest. But I got his name from a business partner. I'd been wanting to see this place for years.
We have spoken enough. Our guest grows tired.
Your company is welcome.
I appreciate you putting up with that. Let's get to work. I'll send the ashes for analysis, but I'm more interested in the scroll. It's sort of an epitaph. Calls the Shining Man a man of prophecy, who was made whole in the wellspring of the Shrine of Healing.
Something not sit right with you.
The Mystics have a whole library of prophecies. The rest of the Voss revere the Mystics because their prophecies are always right. If the Mystics prophesied the Shining Man's arrival, it would explain why the Voss accepted him so easily. It's awfully convenient, though.
Convenient is one word for it. Any chance a prophecy was manipulated?
Always that chance. About the second part of the scroll, though. Made whole in the wellspring of the shrine. The Shrine of Healing is a mystic sanctuary where people go to be cured. The sick and dying, or the spiritually wounded. Only a handful of pilgrims manage to complete the trek each year. I'd guess if the Shining Man was there, it wasn't for spiritual reasons.
I need to find out what the Shining Man was up to.
There's a pilgrimage camp not too far from Voskar. One of the guides there can help you reach the shrine and the wellspring. My advice, if you'll take it, play by the Mystics' rules. It's not wise to defy the order of things.
Well, I wasn't planning on defying them, of course, but we'll see how it goes. We may have to take drastic action, or we may just be laid back about it. We'll see. And it appears as though we do need to take yet another speeder, so I'll see you once we are getting a little closer to the Wellspring of Healing. Okay, so as we approach the Wellspring of Healing, we are greeted by an overwhelming building, structure, monstrosity, whatever you want to say, but it is huge. Goodness me, I am very surprised about that, but I do believe we have been here before with Zaynash. I think he visited here once upon a time, and, well, we're going to be making our way over to the Mystics, as we can see here. That is where we need to go. And so I'll see you when we're a little bit closer. Okay, so we stand before the phase, and we will now be heading on inside. And, well, I would assume speaking to this Voss Acolyte here.
Increasing combat pheromone.
You have faced the trials, outsider, but the Wellspring is for the broken.
I came a long way to consult with your masters.
The Mystics tend the Wellspring. The Mystics make bodies and minds whole. I disturb them for nothing less.
I may be an outsider, but I need guidance. There are terrible things in my past. I sometimes wonder who I am.
I will take you to Amin-Le. You must do this alone.
Bastom suggested patience. You're walking the path of the Shining Man. See where it goes.
The fracture is deep. To rebuild a body, a spirit, one rebuilds history. The Vitalocron is the vessel of memory. Each petitioner fills. In a Vitalocron, the ceremony is preserved.
These Vitalocrons remember everyone who comes here?
Yes. Breathe the mists and speak true. You are the tree. Your roots, the past, the universe is soil. Tree is sick. See what nurtures the roots, and remember your early teachings. A uniform before it became a mask. Who were you then?
I wanted to serve the Empire and all its worlds. Joining Imperial intelligence was a natural step.
Consider now the seasons that shape the tree. First, a season of fire. You purged the darkness by kindling the blaze. Many screamed, but you did what no other could. Then a season of famine. You stood alone. Your friends and foes carved the wood of your mind. Speak of the wound. Speak of your strength.
No matter how many lies I live, I do fight for a reason. My strength is there.
Only if you truly understand. Now you are in a season of mists. All things are obscured. Your spirit burns angry, like frost. But this cannot endure forever. You must change. What will you become?
No more control. No more orders. I want to choose my own fate.
Then you are truly healed.
The Honored One, Amin-Le, has spoken. The healing has been recorded. You hold a Vitalocron, the memory of your wholeness, technologically stored. It must go to our vaults.
Say I wanted to view one of these Vitalocrons.
Each Vitalocron is genetically locked. Only its creator may know what happened. 10,000 and more are stored in the vault. Honor us by placing yours within.
The Shining Man's path continues. If he was healed, he went to the vault as well.
Ooh, okay. Well, we're going to be using the Shining Man's Vitalocron, if I can find it. Where is it? Ah, that is it. Excellent.
Bastan, I found a record of the Shining Man's visit to the shrine, but it's genetically locked.
Good thing you went tomb robbing. Sending the genetic workup on the Shining Man's ashes now. My contacts didn't find any identity matches, by the way. No evidence he existed before Voss.
What about the genetic code itself? Anything unusual?
Not sure. Looks like there might have been some odd triggers built into his body. Could explain the corpse decay.
Attempting to unlock the Vitalicron now. Looping you in on the audio feed.
Interface activated. Warning. The memory is corrupted. Came to us from the Nightmare Lands. You knew our ways. You bore a scroll.
I remember so little. What did the scroll say?
A prophecy from the Chamber of Ashes. It had been lost to us.
Die! Go back to the Nightmare Lands. Grateful for your trust, but I must leave soon for Voskar.
Trust does not matter. The prophecy you found speaks of you. You are healed. You are the Shining Man.
Huh. Doesn't tell us why the Shining Man was sent here, but now we know how he conned the Voss.
I heard something about a prophetic scroll, the Mystics, and the Nightmare Lands.
The Nightmare Lands are forbidden to the Voss. Legend says the ruins drive people insane, and our scouts come back in parts. Old ruins might be the only place he could find materials to fake a scroll of prophecy. But there's nowhere worse on the planet.
I solve the mystery of the Shining Man, I uncover a galactic conspiracy. I'm going to the Nightmare Lands.
And I'll dig up what I can, but we've got some prep work to do. Meet me back at the tea house. Baston out.
Well, okay, we have found out a little bit more about the Shining Man, and with that we will be ending this episode off here. And so, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.